Welcome to the Locker Room Sports Talk Show, and man, what a great weekend we've had for Lawton football. Last weekend, the Lawton Wolverines played on Friday night in a state championship 6A2 category and fell short of their goal, but what a great season they had, and we want to salute them for the season they had, congratulate their coaches and players. This morning we're going to talk to the coach and some players of the Class 5A state champion MacArthur Highlanders. It's been a long time coming, 6 times the bridesmaid, and finally walked down the aisle to get the gold ball. With me first is head coach Brett Manning of the MacArthur Highlanders. And Coach, why don't you take a minute and just tell us a little bit about your thoughts on your team this year and what it's like to finally get that gold ball.
First of all, I'm not quite used to you saying state champion MacArthur Highlanders. That sounds pretty good. Yeah. No, I'm so proud of our kids and our coaches. I think that our kids were the type of guys that they made practice fun. Every single day with them was a good day. They didn't cause us any trouble in the school. They made good grades, and they went out practice and worked hard every day and had a lot of fun. And you know, as a coach, you know, sometimes it's not like that. And when you get a group that acts right, does things right, and make it fun to be around, they're a really special group. And this group was like that. They were also talented, and you put those two things together, and you can have a great season. And you know, I'm also really proud of our coaches. You know, you included. You're one of those that were there for a long time and tried it many times, and you know, we finally got it now. And you know, Ernie Manning and Leo Holmes and Max Plunk, all of our young coaches are #1 excited for them. Kind of our main goal, our main motivation was to get those guys a gold ball because they've worked so hard for it for so long and followed short, and it's pretty special to finally get them one.
Well, Coach, you had a couple of games in the playoffs, Carl Albert and McAllister in particular, that from a fan's point of view were exciting. Yeah. But from a coaching and a player's point of view, they're nail biters. And yet you get to the state championship game, and that was probably one of the most dominating wins in the playoffs for any of the state championship games. How do you think those two nail biters prepared you for the finals?
I think it made us a better team. I think it made us a tougher team. We have, you know, we didn't have an easy road at all. And when you play Carl Albert in the playoffs, I don't care if they're the 1 seed or the 4 seed, that's a challenge. And to be able to beat them in the playoffs was a major deal. And then McAllister's a great team, probably the best team that we played all year long. And they you know, I feel like our kids really came through, and when it looked like we were going to lose several times, you know, our kids kept fighting, kept coming back, and just a major win for us to be able to win the way we did in McAllister. And I think those 2 games just brought us closer as a team. They made us realize that we can do anything. And when we went into the finals, we truly believed that there's no way we could have gone through all of that and beat Carl Albert, beat McAllister the way we did, for this not to be our destiny. You know, this is a game that we're destined to win and to play well, and I think our kids bought into that and came out and played maybe one of their best games of the year.
Was there a point Saturday night where you kind of took a deep sigh and maybe you felt in your gut that we got this, and you sort of relaxed and didn't think you jinxed yourself by getting overconfident, but you know, we got it? Yeah,
I think it's probably the same point for everybody. You know, we felt really good about things when it was 18-0, and then, you know, they kind of put their first little drive together, and we stopped them. And the very next play, Will threw the 77-yard touchdown to Jacquez Henderson to make it 25-0 right before halftime. That's kind of when I felt like, yeah, this is ours. You know, we're going to have to really screw up for this not to go our way.
Well, just to let you know, I was in the press box, and Joey Goodman, your sports writer, was up there. And when you got the stop and you had the ball on the 23, I looked down at Joey and I said, "Joey, are you thinking what I'm thinking?" He says, "I hope they're ready for a deep pass, because that's what I'm thinking." And sure enough, there it went. You scored, and we both looked at each other and sort of grinned about it. And then I asked him, I said, "Obviously, Skytook doesn't watch tape." Yeah. That's because we both expected. It was great to see your kids play, but As I congratulate you once more on your gold ball, let me say this. What I appreciate most about your team is that the way that they've always been able to win with class and humility. And when you had your little hiccup against Ardmore, you still lost with some dignity and some pride. And I say that says a lot about your program and the character of your kids. So I want to congratulate you once again. And we're going to come back in just a moment. We're going to talk to some of the players that made this all happen.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We're back now with the quarterback of the MacArthur Highlanders, Will Collins. And Will, you had an awesome playoff run. I was at the McAllister game. You know, that was probably as exciting game as I've ever seen in high school football. You had a great night. You had an excellent game against Skiatook, and really proud of your performance. So give me a few of your thoughts about what it means to you to actually win that gold ball, and now I guess we're looking forward to those gold rings.
You know, I'm just really happy. You know, we worked really hard ever since our freshman year to be where we are, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, what were your thoughts at the McAllister game? I've often wondered just what was going through your mind when you got down 8, you don't have much time left on the clock, and what were your thoughts going into that drive that eventually tied it all up?
You know, it's really weird because I just knew we were going to win, and that sounds, you know, kind of weird, but I just knew we were. And I remember one of my linemen coming up to me. I'm not going to say his name, but he came up to me kind of with tears in his eyes after the interception. He's like, "Man, Will, it was great playing with you. Can't wait to see you play at the next level." And I grabbed him, and I was just like, "This game's not over, and we're going to come back and win." And I just remember, I just remember, you know, going out there and honestly don't know what happened. I just making plays and just won the game.
Well, let me ask you this. What were your thoughts, and you look up on the scoreboard Saturday night, and you get to finally have that last 10-second countdown, knowing that you're about to be Class 5A state champions?
Man, it was like the monkeys off our back, you know, because, you know, we've had a great program here. We never won the gold ball, and it was just all coming to you, you know. It was just a great feeling. And
has it been exciting at school when you got back on Monday?
Yes, sir. It has been a blessing, and you know, it's just fun to see everyone how a football team can bring, you know, a school and just everyone together, you know. So I'm just happy.
Well, you know, you are going to have to settle down just a little bit. Finals are next week.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to concentrate on those in the books.
Yes, sir. Hope so.
How about your thoughts about your time at MacArthur?
It was great. It honestly was. It was an amazing experience because it taught me how to work hard, you know, and be held accountable. You know, like off season, we didn't win this gold ball, you know, by beating Carl Albert and stuff like that. We won this gold ball last December, last January, in our off-season program where Coach Plunk and all of our coaches, you know, they hold you accountable, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Coach Plunk's kind of ornery in that weight room, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Is that tough love thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, he's a good one. He does a great job there. Well, I want to congratulate you. I know it's an exciting time for you and for all your teammates, the school, and your family as well, because MacArthur's always been about family, and that's one of the things that's unique about their program. And so I congratulate you on a great season and a state championship. Look forward to seeing you play a little college ball down the road.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk to another Highlander.
Say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I told by kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
We're back again, and with me is one of the best receivers in the state of Oklahoma, Lorenzo West. He's also a tremendous cover corner, and although he doesn't start both ways all the time, when you need a stop on a passing game in a critical situation, he's probably the man to put out there in space. Lorenzo, state championship, gold ball, gold rings, lots of parades. What's it all mean to you?
It really means a lot for me, for my team to come in and be the first to ever win a gold ball. I mean, it's just great that knowing that we're the first team that ever has done it, and it's just a blessing, I guess.
I talked to your coach and asked him the same question. Was there a time in the game Saturday night when you kind of in your mind, you may not have voiced it out loud, but you thought, we got this?
Yeah, it was like 25-0 when I knew it was up. I just knew that we probably was going to win the game. Like, yeah, we really had to mess something up for us to lose it. I just thought that the game's not over, though. We still have to keep playing, keep fighting, and just finish the job.
Well, I think that's where maybe the black code comes into play. The last part of that is finish, and you guys did do that. Tell me about being a wide receiver. I never had the problem with being able to outrun people, but you can. What's it like to make a move and you know you're behind the secondary and the ball's on the way and all you got to do is catch it and you get to run a long ways?
Sometimes to me it's kind of fun, like knowing that you're faster than most people, and that sometimes it's easy to get past people and you just get the ball and score for your team.
Now, what would you rather do, catch that long touchdown pass or go out there and make a great defensive play out at corner?
I think catching a touchdown pass is probably more exciting, but if I'm defending somebody, get an interception and like run it back or something, I think that would be more fun.
Well, y'all had two things happen Saturday that were pretty cool, and it's typical of the MacArthur fan base. First of all, you had a great send-off to go up to UConn, and then you got back rather late, and there were still a lot of people in the parking lot to welcome you home. What does that kind of support mean to you?
It means a lot that people actually care about us and that we have great supporters, and our school really, they care about our football team and showing us that they really support us and really love us and stuff.
So do you have some plans already kind of in the back of your head about playing a little bit more football at the next level?
Yeah, I hope that I can get a great scholarship to go play football at the next level and maybe run track too.
Yeah, you are pretty good in track. You're on that relay team, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty special. Well, you know, I want to congratulate you too, and I've enjoyed watching you. I'm going to miss seeing you out there, out in space, running routes and getting open. And of course, you've turned a lot of those little quick screens into long runs also.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool to have watched you. I know that you'll be missed, but we know we'll get to see you play some more football.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back again, and we'll talk to another member of the MacArthur Highlander football team.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won. What's your reaction? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
This is their world.
There's nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
We're back with our final MacArthur Highlander guest, number 86 on the field, number 1 in your heart. Connor Cherry, defensive end, tight end. Connor, I was at the game Saturday night, and that's probably one of the most individually dominating games that I've ever seen anybody play. It seemed like you wreaked havoc on their offense all night. You were in their backfield, and a couple of times I noticed that you didn't necessarily use your shoulder pads to tackle. You kind of put hands on and kind of grabbed him like a 5-pound bag of taters and threw him to the ground.
Yes, sir. There's a couple times that he started to get outside of me, and lucky enough, you know, I'm 6'3", so I had a good wingspan, and I grabbed him a couple times. And once I got a hold of him, I've done it a couple times this season. That once I get a hold of somebody, they usually don't go anywhere. And once I got a hold of him, I started turning, and I threw him, and all of a sudden I realized he started spinning a little bit. So,
like a little bit like a top. Well, you know, I thought that throughout the year, I thought that if there was one player who set the tone for the defense, it was Connor Cherry. You seem to have a little different gear than what some people have. What gets going inside you to really get you motivated out there?
you know, it's kind of like going out there, and I've grown up, I had 4 brothers, so I kind of always got beat up. So now it's the time for me to beat someone up when I go out there. So my motor starts going and I get going, and it's just fun to go out there and hit somebody, stop the play, and let our offense go down and drive on the field.
Okay, well let's go on the other side here. You've also got to play some as a tight end, and they even threw the ball to you a couple of times, and you've actually scored a touchdown. What's the bigger thrill, sack a quarterback or catch that touchdown pass?
Sack a quarterback, but I also have a defensive touchdown too this year. So defensively, I can score touchdowns too.
Yeah, okay, well, you know, you are very versatile. What about the blocking part? Do you enjoy the blocking part, or is that just something kind of a necessary evil?
No, that's fun too. I get to hit somebody still, and I don't have to worry about holding onto a ball. I get to go out there and hit someone and helping someone else score in the team. So I think it's pretty fun, and it's still like playing defense. I get to go out there and hit somebody.
Well, tell me on a personal note, what does it mean to you that you guys brought home the gold?
It's really special knowing that we're the first one, you know, to make history at MacArthur, and it just showed everybody that we all came together as a family. Even our community was behind us. Even from Lawton High, you know, they made it all the way to the state finals too, and we wanted them to win. Both of us won the state championship. But even after they lost, they still came and support us and told us congratulations. So I thought it was really special to show that everybody in the community backed everyone. And what about your plans? Are you looking at playing some football in college, or are you just going to go be a scholar somewhere? No, sir. I'm going to look to play football in college. Hopefully I can get a great scholarship also and go up there and play football and get a degree. What side of the ball you think you want to be on? I think I know the answer. Defense. Well, I think that may be where you end up. Well, I'll congratulate you like the others. Y'all had a great season. I've enjoyed watching your growth. I remember when you were a sophomore and I was out there, you were kind of a little old skinny sophomore kid, and now you've grown into a big old strapping young man, and you had a great season. Really proud of your progress and what the team did. We're going to wrap it up for now. But the 2014 football season will be one that's talked about for a long time at MacArthur High School. Like we said, it's 6 times the bridesmaid. This year they finally walked down the aisle. They were the bride. They got that gold football, and history was made. Now as we close, I'm going to once again call on some wisdom from one of my childhood heroes, Yogi Berra, who said, 90% of football is physical, the other half is mental. So for now, good day and God bless.